Good Tuesday morning to everyone. Just stood here by the front door, enjoying the colours of autumn. They continue, and very beautiful. A lot of the leaves have now dropped, so I can see through the field maple. I can see through a lot of the trees. So this is my birthday week. I want to thank everyone who's sent gifts or cards. Thank you so much. I got a beautiful food parcel from an Irish food company, but there was no name on it. There was no message. So whoever sent me that, thank you very much. It's just been a beautiful week so far. And of course we're rolling on towards Samhain, the very last day of autumn, because winter begins on November the 1st. See my hanging basket there. And there's still some feverfew in that pot. It's incredible to think that I've just completed another journey around the sun. Because of course that's what the year is. It's one long, beautiful journey around the sun. So this week I'll be 65. Not that I feel like 65, because I still have lots of energy, and there's no reason why that energy should ever diminish. Especially living on one's own, you have to get up in the morning, you have to do the chores, you have to walk the dog. There is no one else to call upon. And in many ways that bodes well for a healthy existence. Because I think health is all about energy, whether you have that energy or not. And energy is something that you create. It doesn't just happen, because it's all around us. And we have to draw it down. We have to live in such a way as to keep that energy working through our system and working for us. It's very still. It's a very still morning. So I'll be going over to the post office shortly to post books. I hadn't realised that yesterday was a bank holiday here in Ireland. And of course I'm still on the Earth time rather than the man-made time. My clocks remain the same. So it looks as though I have an extra hour each day. Because of course when I get up in the morning it says 7 o'clock and the man-made time is 6 o'clock. But I have always tried to go with the light rather than the man-made clock and the man-made calendar and all those dictates of a very abnormal world. Because of course we seem to have gotten ourselves into a situation where we're having this very abnormal human experience or inhuman experience on Mother Earth. rather than a human experience with Mother Earth. All these silly diktats change the time on the clock. Yes, I know there was reasons for it. Well, reasons given anyway, such as to give the farmers an extra hour of daylight. But I care for 3 acres, and I find that the clock time, which more or less works in harmony with the solar time, is fine to remain just as it is and just as it was. Still some wonderful colours happening there. Of course, there's a lot of talk now on the radio, because I don't have television, I listen to the radio sometimes. There's a lot of talk now about the lockdown affecting mental health. But here's the thing. This is how I've always lived. There's instructions from the government, you know, that you can't go here, you can't go there, you can't do normal shopping. There's lots and lots of can't do's. But very few of them apply to me, because they weren't things that I did anyway. And of course, here in Ireland, it's a maximum of 5 kilometres now from your home. You're allowed to exercise. Well, I suppose that's okay. I mean, it's 5 kilometres. But there's some very chaotic approaches to this pandemic. I remember saying back in February, when it broke, well, when news of it broke, I think it started before then actually. In fact, I'm about 95% sure it started before then, quite a bit before then as well, going towards the end of the previous year. But I remember saying, and I think I said on video as well, in fact I did say on video, that in my humble estimation, as I always take a very pragmatic approach to all problems, that the government should have literally thrown the resources at the most vulnerable. And remember, they didn't. Because the most vulnerable have been the victims in all of this. Well, many of the victims in all of this. But they should have ring-fenced the most vulnerable with all the resources to hand and cared for them, and told everyone else from day one to mask up and to keep socially distanced and carry on. Now that made good sense to me then, and on reflection it makes even better sense, because what's happening now is there's going to be a wave, a tidal surge, perhaps even a tsunami of mental health issues, of poverty issues, because the economy has been pulled down by all of this. And all kinds of social issues that are going to affect people for a very long time to come. So I think that it's been very badly mishandled. And I think that's unforgivable. Because it cannot be that someone like myself, a grandmother living in the west of Ireland on her own, without television and without social interaction to discuss issues, it cannot be that I was the only one to see a common sense, pragmatic, sensible approach. It just can't be, surely not. We have employed and paid very high salaries to politicians and to government advisors and to health executives to have worked all this out. They haven't. They limp from one new crisis to another, from one extreme to another. And I haven't even talked about the long-term health issues, because all the hospitals, all the functioning hospitals have either put aside ordinary everyday health issues affecting the public, like operations and treatments, and many of them life-saving treatments. And government mayhem has instilled a fear into people about going for treatments. That's unforgivable. There's been a huge amount of fear-mongering. There's been an enormous amount of people who have taken to the streets protesting. So it's actually causing more chaos than was solvable at the beginning. I mean, it could have been dealt with much, much better. And I don't say that in retrospect. As I said, I spoke about this right at the beginning of the official outbreak of the pandemic. And I spoke about it on video. So I'm not just trying to catch up with things, and I'm not giving empty criticism. And certainly on reflection, what I said made the best sense. Anyway, another beautiful year around the sun. And lots of hours have been spent out here in the woodland gardens, and they've all been enjoyable. And I have my birthday coming up, which I will be spending on my own. And I don't feel sorry for myself or anything like that. Because what is a birthday? It's another day. The real celebration for me will be Samhain. And I celebrate with all those who've gone before me. So I feel a sense of being surrounded anyway, and enclosed by love and friendship and familial ties. It's a very quiet time now. I can actually feel the pull of Samhain, and I can feel a sense of a gathering. Yes, indeed, there is a gathering. There is a beautiful gathering taking place. Those who have given me strength and encouragement within the world of my ancestors are gathering. And I'm so happy that my birthday coincides to within 48 hours or so of Samhain. There was going to be a big birthday gathering because it's my 65th, so it was going to be one of those monumental dates, and going to gather at Kilronan Castle, and there was going to be lots of celebrations, and my son and his family were going to come in from Canada. But, like many of us, all that's put on hold, or possibly even forgotten about, because we move on. It's still not much of a hardship, but I think for many people something like that will be an incredible blow to them. And therein, I think, opens the door for all kinds of issues, social and emotional, all avoidable had we any sense of governance with a sense of humanity instilled in it, with a sense of common sense. Common sense is so lacking. It's so lacking in today's world. It really is. I notice that on many aspects of social media, you know, where I will put up a post and it's fairly self-explanatory, but many people don't take the time to read it properly, and so immediately they hit the keyboard asking questions, which, if they had read the post or even just did a little tiny bit of research, like just research the word or the statement on Google, would have had answers. So in many ways I'm sort of even at times reluctant to spend too much time on social media, because of course it can usurp my time, and I prefer to make videos. I prefer to share this with you in a less hurried way, because many aspects of social media are all about quick and quicker. You know, it's lessening for many people their attention span. Doesn't this driveway look beautiful? It really is lovely, because certainly within the Goddess Gardens here at Bealtaine Cottage, the woodland gardens, the magical woodland, the seasons have been in perfect harmony. The Celtic seasons, perfect harmony. And yet for many people I've heard it said that the the seasons are all out of sorts. But if you look back over the course of 2020, here on the YouTube videos, the seasons have not been out of sorts. They've been absolutely perfect. So, on this beautiful day, on this beautiful morning, and I'm not even sure what time it is, but I know it's still fairly early, I'm going to pack all my posting into the car and drive over to Ballyfarnan, and I'm going to be posting books and maps. Haven't got the calendar back yet. I'm expecting that to happen possibly this week. Possibly this week. So the posting should start from next week sometime. So thank you to everybody who has supported the Bealtaine project this year, this Celtic year. Celtic New Year starts on the 1st of November. So thank you for supporting the Bealtaine project this year. And I hope that you've got as much beauty and comfort from this little 3 acres over the course of this beautiful year as I have. And I look forward to making many, many more videos. I'll make a few more before the year's end, before Samhain. And then we strike out into the new year. So blessings to you all. It's been wonderful to be able to share all this with you. And I continue to write and take photographs and compile blogs over on the website. And of course, as always, all the links to the books and the publications from Bealtaine Cottage here can be found below this video and every video. Thank you to all of you who have wished me happy birthday and, as I said at the beginning, sent me cards, little gifts. Thank you so much. Those of you that I can find emails for, I will of course say a special thank you. I'll be going through the cards and whatnot this week. So blessings to you all and have a lovely, lovely day. The day's promised good here now at Bealtaine Cottage. There's been rain this morning, but there's going to be sunshine this afternoon apparently. And look at that, I'm beginning to see blue sky up there. So another year around the sun. The earth continues to turn. And as it turns, it's travelling around the sun again. There's a wonderful beauty to it all. And don't forget, Mother Earth is fine. It's the human element of all the species on this planet who are not fine. And caught up in all kinds of machinations and silliness and, It's a silly world out there. And when I say Mother Earth is fine, she is fine. If there are problems, they are problems that are caused by us. And as I've often said, I won't even go into climate change. You know, people can argue about that till the cows come home. It is what we do to her. It is how we see her, how we view her, how we treat her. Blessings to you all.